Hey, welcome back to my channel. Well, not welcome back to my channel, but like welcome back. I'm in my closet. Um, well, I'm not in the closet. Let's get that straight. But anywho, I'm in my closet like right now, like I explained earlier when I was in the kitchen. I'm gonna go ahead and tell you guys a quick little story. Yes, I am a hairdresser or a cosmetologist, as you would call it, slash loctician, and my hair is looking a mess because I'm always taking care of somebody else's hair. So no retwist November is over. Um, I might even do my second video tomorrow on me and my routine, like shampooing my hair and why did I just do that? And styling it and all kinds of other things like that. I am working on something special, so I might not. Ooh, excuse my breathing. Do like a full retwist this go round, but I got something in my back pocket. But anywho, I'm like promise, I'm folding up some clothes at the moment, and I'm gonna go ahead and tell the story really quick about one of the worst dates that I've ever been on. Okay, so I literally like do not remember. Well, I do remember how we met. We met on Facebook, me and this guy. So I think he added me. I'm really not sure. Don't get me to telling stories or anything like that, but a guy added me on Facebook, and people do the random little thing, hey, what's up, or how's it going, things like that. Okay, cool. So, um, me being me, excuse me being me, I clicked on the profile because they had requested to be like my friend on Facebook and things like that. So I clicked on the profile. Um, and what I did was I like to search through pictures to see, like, I accept the friend request and then I search through their pictures, like, oh well. But I searched through the pictures to see like what they look like, if like the picture that they're using on their profile is actually them and not like a dead homie. To see like their family ties. Do they have kids? Do they have a, I feel like I sound crazy right now, but I think everybody should be doing that. So if someone hits you up and want to talk, on Facebook, it's okay to search through that stuff. It's totally okay. That's what Facebook is for. They want you to be your friend. They want you to be their friend on Facebook, and you got the right to look through the shit because they're your friend on Facebook. But anywho, you got the right either way you go, friend or not, whatever. But anywho, so I'm looking through the pictures and stuff like that, and so I'm like, okay, dude, he looked alright. He wasn't exactly my type, but he looked alright. So I'm like, oh, okay, dude's pretty cool. Searching through. I don't think I saw that he had any kids at the time, which he did. I don't mind kids, but it's like, that's a whole nother something in itself. And so, excuse me if I'm looking down, I keep grabbing things out of my little laundry basket here. And so he was like, hey, how you doing? Blase blase. Hit me up, like, hey, you seem pretty cool. Can we exchange phone numbers? And so, me being me, I did exchange phone numbers. I don't see anything wrong with someone having your phone number. It's okay to have phone numbers and to communicate with someone to get to know somebody. How else are you gonna get to know anybody? So, well, unless you're going out with them in person, but still, like, if you don't know them firsthand, it's okay to exchange phone numbers or something like that. So we exchanged phone numbers through Facebook, and we started having conversations through there. Dude seemed pretty cool, a little clingy, I would say, because we didn't really know each other like that, but it was just like, trying to be cute. Like, I think dudes think sometimes that women or girls or females or whatever you want to call us, I think y'all feel like sometimes like, oh, we want y'all to be like super duper um cutesy or giving us pet names right away. No, I don't want that because that seems kind of spooky. But anywho, so I wouldn't say he gave me a pet name, but it was all like, "Hey baby, how's it going this morning?" or "Good morning, um, good morning, baby." Some generic like that, or "Honey," or something like that. "How are you doing today, sweetie?" it was something along those lines or whatever. It wasn't bothering me too much because they weren't calling me like, I don't know. It didn't like trigger me, not trigger me, but it didn't like bother me too bad. But I did kind of find it like off putting, like, you don't know me. Please don't call me that. You know? Or sexy. I don't answer to that. What's up, sexy? Like, no, I don't answer to that. But anywho, besides that, long story short, we were communicating on text message now after we exchanged phone numbers, and so dude was like, hey, we need to get together, hang out, go out or something like that. And I'm like, yes, we certainly do. And so we met up. Well, no, that is not what happened. I was about to tell you a complete lie. But so we spoke about it, and so I'm a smoker. So people, hey, you smoke? Yeah, okay, we can like smoke a little bit or something, chill, woo woo woo. This is before. I kind of didn't like doing this back then either, but sometimes it's like, okay, sometimes people don't have downtime. I know I didn't have downtime a lot, so it's just like, yeah, I can go to someone's house and chill. I don't mind that. But you got to be careful with that because people are weirdos. But so he was like, we can go out, get something to eat, smoke a little bit, chill, whatever the case may be. And I'm like, yeah, okay, cool, that's fine. So I stayed, well, I'm not gonna say where I stayed, but I stayed somewhere at the time, and he gave me his address because at the time I had roommates, and the roommates had kids, so I wasn't about to allow any strange man come over. And so they was like, hey, we can meet up in my place. And I'm like, all right, cool, that's fine. And so he gave me his address, and he was the way he spoke when we were talking, if we were homies, okay, I don't know, if you're a smoker, you understand this, but like if you're like homies with somebody or something like that, and they be like, people be like, match one or something like that, so that means you bring your own shit. Oh, excuse my language. So that means you bring your own supply, and the person has their own supply, and you smoke it together. You know what I'm saying? You're matching one is what they call it. You're matching it. So I'll match your blunt to my blunt. And if I roll up again and you want to smoke again with me, we can do that. And then y'all like, especially if it's like two different kinds of whatever you're smoking, well, cannabis, I would say. But especially if it's like two different kinds, whatever, you might rotate it or something like that. So, but I would imagine like if you're like trying to hang with a chick, I don't think you would want to. I mean, I would bring my own stuff anyways because, like I said, I don't trust people. But I don't think dudes should do that. Be like, hey, match one with a chick, or just imply that they're supposed to match one. So I was a heavy smoker back then too. So I had like smoked when I was getting ready. It wasn't nothing to get ready for. Like I said, we were gonna just chill out, talk to each other, whatever. So I smoked a little bit on my way. Well, not on my way, but when I was getting ready and I rolled up, smoked a little bit on my way. Yeah, I did. But I still had some on me. And so I'm pulling up to the address. He lived on like a cul-de-sac. And so strike number one. Well, I wouldn't call it a strike, but almost. Yeah, I guess it was a strike number one. So I'm pulling up, and he lives on the cul-de-sac, and so when I'm looking for like the house or whatever, and so because for some reason people in Texas don't believe in what do you call that? They don't believe in porch lights for some odd reason. It's always dark every fucking where. But so I'm looking for the house number and I cannot see it, and so I'm like, okay, let me roll. It's a cul-de-sac, so let me turn around and just come back around. So I let him know, hey, I'm pulling up. I'm having a hard time seeing the house numbers. And so the house that I did look at first, it had like about 3 cars in the driveway. So I'm like, dude probably has roommates. So I'm like, dude, I hope that's not the house he in. And so he was like, okay, I'm step outside and I'm gonna meet you outside, okay? And I'm like, oh, okay. And so mind you, I'm supposed to be coming to his house. Really, I don't know what we spoke about because I'm trying to think, because when I pulled up, I felt like we were supposed to go somewhere. It was just so weird. But anywho, pulled up, and so dude was standing outside. When I made a U-turn or whatever in the cul-de-sac and was coming back around, he had been standing outside. And so when I looked at him, I recognized the head. Dude had a tiny head, you know what I'm saying? Um, but his cheeks look a little bit fatter. I don't listen. Don't come at me with the fat shame, man. That's not what I'm doing. But like, don't use an old ass picture as your profile pic. You know what I'm saying? Like, what you look like. I sound shallow, but oh fucking well. Anywho, his head was the same size. His face still looked the same. He just had like his cheeks just a little bit more plump, you know, like that. But his I say I'm so shallow. But I had noticed when I seen him in person that he was always taking pictures up and above, and then like the other pictures he had on his profile was like from years ago. And when I was like snooping on his shit, I had realized that he had just got out of jail like probably a year or two ago. So I'm like, when he stepped outside, like I said, we were supposed to be just chilling, but he was standing there. He had on a gray sweatshirt. It was stretched a little bit, and then I think he had on like some basketball shorts. And so I should have just took my ass home because I'm like, you catfish me, you know what I'm saying? But I was like, oh, okay. It was kind of too late because he was like, oh, I see you, you know, and shit on the phone or whatever. So I'm like, fuck. So I pull up, and so he was like, hey, what's up? How you doing and all that stuff. And I'm like, hey, I'm good. You know, he was like, oh, I'm glad you came. I'm glad you came over. And I was like, yeah, you know, we're gonna chill, you know. So my high is kind of like coming down a little bit. And it's like, okay, snap out of it. I mean, I wasn't like super duper high because that's dangerous going to a stranger's house, but it was just like, dude, like, what the fuck is going on here? So he was like, hey, before we go inside, you want to go get something to eat real quick? And I was like, okay, sure. And so, like I said, we were just planning to chill, watch TV. I wore like a sports bra. I mean, I'm not trying to. I had a sports bra on, you know, a regular t-shirt, some sweatpants, some tennis shoes. You know what I'm saying? I was relaxed. You know, I was still look cute though, but you know, whatever. And so he was damn near trying to tell me that he wanted to hop in my. He was like, "Are we taking my car or your car?" And I was like, "Huh?" And he was like, "Are we taking your car or my car?" I said, "Well, I drove over here, so we can just take your car because, yeah." I'm like, then my car is small, you know. I said it to everybody though. I wasn't trying to make like a fat joke with him, but he was kind of tall, and I'm like, hey, my car is kind of small, so I don't think you'd be comfortable in my car. So and I drove over here, so we can take your car to go get something to eat. And he was like, okay, yeah, cool. Um, we go to his car. Mind you, I haven't been in the house yet. I haven't been in the house yet. So we go to his car, and he he was like, okay, yeah, this is my car. He had a little Dodge Challenger or whatever it was. I can't remember, either a Charger or a Challenger, whichever. So we get in the car. It was a Chevy 300. That's what it was. So we get in the car, um and so he was like, yeah, this is strike number two. His speaker was broken. It's not a strike two because the speaker was broken. There's nothing wrong with that. You know, my car is like fucked off, so whatever. But his speaker was broken, so he had like a little portable Bluetooth speaker or whatever inside the car, and he was like, "Yeah, my speaker broken. So my bad." And I was like, "Oh no, it's fine. Like it's whatever." He's like, "Yeah, you know, I like listen to music when I drive, so." You know, it's kind of bootleg, but I got this little speaker. I was like, shit, you know, I would do the same shit probably, whatever. And so, like I done plugged up a fan in my shit because the air conditioner went out. So I wasn't judging. I'm like, nah, you straight. That's what it was. I didn't want him to get in my car because I was like, my air conditioner is not working correctly. So nah, that's exactly what it was. That was a part of the like I'm not taking my car shit. But anywho, back to us being in his car and him playing his music on the Bluetooth speaker plugged into the cigarette lighter thingy or the charger port or whatever. So I'm trying to wrap this up. This video is already like 16 minutes. But anyways, he dude, we're driving, and so he was like, "What do you want to eat?" I'm like, "I don't know, it don't matter." He's like, all right, cool. We pulled up to a Taco Bell slash KFC. Now, I don't know if any of you ever seen one of those before, but it's a lot of times restaurants are combined like that. It's Taco Bell and KFC, or like Pizza Hut and KFC, something like that. But most of the time, it's always Taco Bell and KFC. And then the thing about that is you can order from both menus at the same time. So I know whoever works there is like having a shitty time. But yeah, or maybe they have Taco Bell workers, and I don't know. But anyway, so we going through the drive-through, and so I didn't order much. I ordered a 7 layer burrito and like a rice and bean, or 2 7 layer burritos or something like that. You know, those are like $1 and some change. And so he's ordering his stuff, and he's ordering from like both menus. No, no problem. You know, whatever. And so he's like, yeah, let me get a whoop whoop whoop, yada yada, whatever, whatever. And so the total price come up to like probably $10, $12. It wasn't nothing over 15. I'm gonna say the price came to like $10 to $12. Nothing over 15. But this still doesn't make it right. So we pulling up to the window, we wait in the line. And so we pulled up to the window, wasn't nobody at the window yet to like greet us or whatever. And so he was like, cause I go Dutch a lot, or I pay for my own shit unless somebody be like, hey, put that away, I got you. And I'm like, all right, cool. So I'm preparing to like pull my money out to pay for my food. And so he was like, I'm getting ready to hand him the money for my food, and he was like, uh, you gonna pay this time? Mind you, this is the first time of us meeting in person. I don't even know you like that. We probably been speaking on the phone through text message for like a week or two. Probably spoke on the phone like once or twice. And so he was like, hey, you got me? It ain't that much, you know what I'm saying? You got me? And I was like, huh? And he was like, you gonna pay? And I was just like, the fuck? Now I'm thinking to myself again. I was like, I drove over here. And I was like, whatever. I'm like, what? I paid. I shouldn't have done that, but I paid for the freaking food. We leave. Okay. We get back to the house. And he was like, yeah, we gonna go up in here. My mom and my dad up in here, you know what I'm saying? And I was just like, what? And so he was like, my mom and my dad in here. He tried to make it seem like they stayed with him. I don't know. It was just so weird. He was like, yeah, my folks stay over here too. Blah, blah, blah. Just, my mama, she be tripping sometimes. And I was like, oh, mind you, you're like 27, 28 years old. And so he probably at least like a year or two older than me. Probably, I mean, it's nothing wrong with that, but it's like, why are you bringing me to the house where you're, oh my, oh, but anywho, we come in the house, and he trying to hurry up and, no, he walked in, and so I'm used to taking my shoes off in people's house. I was like, I gotta take my shoes off. He was like, no, you straight. And so he walked, and he took off walking really fast, like I was supposed to know where I'm going. Like, this is my first time in your house. It was kind of dim in there. The kitchen lights was on. Somebody was in the living room. It was really, really weird. And he was like, you coming? I'm like, I don't know where you're at. And so his mom like, hey, who are you? And I was like, ooh, hey, I'm fine. And so I'm thinking because the way he walked in, I'm thinking we about to sit down at the kitchen and probably eat. No, he wanted to go to his room and eat. And so we walked to the room, and I walk in. There's no chairs to sit in. There's a bed in there, but the bed, the sheets, they look really, really old and really, really thin. And so, like, like those old school sheets, they kind of like floral, but they're not. But then it was so faded you couldn't really see. And it was like really, really thin sheets. And then, like, they looked like they were supposed to be white, but they were like a little beige. I don't know if they were dirty or if they were just beige because they were so old, and like probably just taken out of a closet or something, a linen closet. But I was like, oh my God. And it was like a dog in there. And he was like, don't worry, he don't bite. And I was like, I'm not scared of dogs. And so he was like, "Oh yeah, watch it, don't step on my rug." Dude said he was a Muslim. I was like, "Okay." And he was like, "Yeah, I pray to Mecca. I do that all the time, at the appropriate times and all that stuff. And I was like, oh, okay. So we eating in silence. And he was like, "What you want to watch some TV?" I'm like, sure. And so he turns on the TV, try to watch something. He was like, oh yeah, I forgot. Whatever my daddy and them watching, we gotta watch it too. Because the way the cable was hooked up, I know y'all remember that, but the way the cable was mixed hooked up, um it wasn't like where everybody could watch what they want to watch. It was connected to where like all the TVs were, well, the TV from the living room and his TV were kind of connected. So he had to like get on Wi-Fi and like turn on his gaming system and like find a movie or some shit like that. So I don't even know what the fuck we spoke about. I was pissed off because you didn't tell me you live with your parents. I paid for your fucking Taco Bell KFC shit. Um and it's like I'm sitting on this nasty ass bed with dog hair all over it. And so he's like, yeah, woo woo woo. And he was like, you ready to smoke? After we got through eating, we went outside. But the whole time we were there, he kept talking about this one chick and how that was his best friend and how she was getting on his nerves because she kept doing silly things or something like that. But I was like, I really think this is like your ex girl. But I didn't say that out loud. But he just kept talking about this best friend and how she was doing crazy things and was getting mad, and because certain stuff would happen, he was like, I told you so. And she was like calling him throughout the night, and I was like, okay, I feel like I should leave. I should have left a long time ago, but that started happening. I really felt like I should go. We're outside smoking. His daddy came out, had a cigarette, and was talking shit about us smoking weed, I mean cannabis or whatever, marijuana. And so he wrote the skinniest blunt ever, and the one I had in my pocket was like probably like 3 times the size of his. So I'm like, okay, dude, really like tripping. And so he was like, yeah, I don't smoke like that because I'm still on probation or whatever the fuck he was saying. I was like, what the fuck is wrong with you? And so we were talking, and he was like, hey, he kept doing what? And he was yelling. I realized he was talking kind of loud when we got in the house, and he told me he was deaf in his left ear. Nothing wrong with that. It was just so random and weird. And I was like, oh, he was like, yeah, if you feel like I'm yelling, that's why. And I keep turning my head so I can hear you better. I'm deaf in my left ear. And I was like, okay, cool. All right. So we outside, daddy talking shit. We smoked a little bit. I wanted to sit out there and smoke a little bit more, but he was like, all right, let's go back in. And by the time we went back in the house, he was like, because he was like, my daddy don't really like me smoking that, whatever. We can't smoke in the house. Woo, woo, woo. He smoke his cigarettes outside. Don't nobody smoke in the house. I'm like, that's fine. I don't give a fuck. Everybody is probably in the bed by now. It's kind of dark in the house. So, um, I really should have left. Nothing happened between us. There was no knocking of the boots. But, it was just so weird. And, I don't know how I just got stuck there. Like I got stuck there, basically. Was watching movies or something, and I kind of like fell asleep, like sitting up against the wall when I was sitting on the bed or whatever, some shit. And I woke up, and dude was asleep, and I was like, "Fuck!" And so he wakes up because the lights was off and shit. And so he was up under the covers or something, and I was like kind of linked up against the wall, kind of slouched a little bit, but still kind of like arm crossed it or whatever. And so he rolls over. I don't think he was asleep at all. He rolled over and tried to like put his arm around me and kind of cuddle me or something. And I'm like, no, like I don't even want to be on this bed. It got dog fur all over. I should have just fucking left. And so I'm like, oh my god, this is weird. So he was like, you don't want to get in the cover? I was like, no, 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 I'm straight. I need to be going. He's like, oh, it's too late. It's too late. Just stay. You can get up and go in the morning. I'm like, okay, so I'm sitting there. I'm literally like on my phone all night. I didn't lay down. The pillows were thin and disgusting. Um, he was snoring. The dog was like in the corner somewhere scratching. And I was on my phone like, what the fuck did I do? And just, going through Facebook and YouTube and shit like that, listening to shit. And so the morning time came, um, and I was still there, still woke, and I was like, fuck, I need to get the fuck up out of here. And so I'm like, okay, what do I do? And so I got up and I was trying to make him an excuse because I didn't want to make him feel bad. That was like a problem of mine last, like a few years ago, whatever. And so I was like, oh, I don't feel well. I think I'm about to go because I don't know what he thought. It was so weird. And he was like, I want to say that was the night I was saying. I don't know. It was the morning time. It was like super duper early in the morning. And he was like, "You ain't gotta leave this early. Just just chill out. You can leave in a few hours." And I was like, "Nah, I don't feel good. I have to go and go to the house. I don't want to get sick in here." And he was like, "What's the matter? Your hair hurting? What's going on? You need something? I got some." I said, "No, no, no. I don't take medicine like that. I really don't." But I was like, "I don't want nothing. I just need to go home." And he was like, "Oh, okay, that's fine." And I was like, "Yeah." So I really had to pee. So I'm like doing the potty dance, or I'm sitting there shaking my legs, or whatever the case may be. So I was like, I'm about to go to the bathroom real quick. I hops up. I opened the bathroom door. His daddy is on the fucking toilet. His dad is on the toilet. His dad was on the toilet, and I was like, "Oh," and I closed the door real fast. I don't know if you saw me or what, but I was like, "Ah, man," I didn't even tell dude, and I was like, "Yeah," I had to pee so bad, and I was like, I didn't even, because I think he came out after that, and he was like, "Oh, I'm gonna say a dude name," but his daddy was like, "Hey, so you go in the bathroom now," because he thought that was his son or something, because he was on the toilet with his head down or whatever the case may be, and so he wasn't paying attention. I was like, "Yeah, I'm about to go." I hurry up and grab my I didn't even bring nothing because I still just had my crossbody purse on or whatever. I'm like, "All right, swoop my keys up." It's like, I'm about to go. I gotta go. Like my head hurting. I just need to go home. He's like, "Oh well." Trying to give me hugs and stuff like that. And it was so cringy and so weird. I sped to the nearest QT gas station, used the bathroom, went home. And so he was like, "Let me know when you get home." I really forgot he said that because I really wasn't paying attention to him. And I wasn't like, I knew I wasn't going to talk to him again after that. And so he started blowing. I had got home, went to sleep. It was about like 7:30 in the morning or 8 o'clock when I got home and went to bed. And so he was like texting and texting and texting and texting my phone. "What's up? What's up? How you doing? Are you okay? Are you feeling better?" Then I was just like, "Oh shit!" I forgot to answer him, but it's like you just blew my phone up, so it's like I don't want to answer you anymore. And so he hit me on Facebook. It was like, "Hey, is everything okay? You're not answering my text messages. Are you okay? What's going on?" And then he was like, "If you didn't want to be there, you should have just said." I hadn't even answered yet. And he was just like blowing up my spot. And he was like, "If you didn't want to be there, if you didn't want to, you should have just said something. You could have just left." And I was just like, "Dude, I've been asleep. I have not been looking at my phone. Um, my bad." And then it was kind of like the next day or something. He was trying to get back to the, "Hey babe," or "What you doing," and stuff like that. And I was like, I think I blocked his number. That's what I did. I blocked his number. And then he messaged me on Facebook. It was like, "I tried to call you. It didn't go through. Did you block me?" It was just so weird. And I was just like, "Yeah, I don't." And he was like, if you didn't want to talk to me, you could at least just said something. You could have said, "Hey, we don't want to, I don't want to talk to you anymore," or something like that. He was so angry, I guess you could say. But now dude is married. Oh, and on top of that, like he failed to mention he had about 4 kids, and and that's also what I saw when I walked to his room. There was like kid toys everywhere. He was like, "Yeah, my kids come over sometimes," and I was like, "Oh my god, this is so fucking so cringy, so weird." But that was the end of that situation. I did not I blocked him on Facebook and shit like that. And I recently probably like unblocked him like sometime last year or some shit like that. And then he randomly like sent me a friend request. and then took the shit back. So I was like, why did he send me a friend request? It must have been on my page lurking. So I went and looked at his shit, and he had like a new girlfriend or something. Well, I wasn't even never his girlfriend, but he had a girlfriend or whatever. And I was like, oh, that's good for him. Now they're married and they combined their families and shit like that. But it was just like, I felt like he was trying to stunt on me, but it's like, ain't no stunting. And I was not about to save you from your parents' house. I'm sorry. But that right there is the story of one of the worst dates. Now you see why I did the little quotation marks. One of the worst dates that I've ever been on. Dude, like the fuck. Like first off, like you catfish me, and then you asked me to pay for your food. Then you had a struggle blunt. You stayed with your folks, and you didn't tell me that everything was dirty. It was a hot ass mess. But lesson learned: don't ever go to a stranger's house like that ever again. And especially at nighttime. Like, what the fuck are you thinking? We had a few mutual friends, so I felt like it was okay. But please don't do that because that's not safe. Let me know what you think about this video. Do you have you ever had like a similar experience to that, to what I just talked about? If so, let me know down below, or let me know about like any weird encounters you've ever had, or if you ever like experience something crazy like that. Um, yeah, so that's the end of this vlog. I spoke about the what do you call this? My worst day ever. So I guess you can call this you know what? I'm not even gonna say what Vlogmas day this is going up because I really don't know because I have to edit this stuff because it's over 30 minutes right now. So thank you for tuning in. More story times coming soon. This is like my very first story time, so it'll get better. Thank you for watching. If you watched all the way through, don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. If you dislike, I don't care. Like it lets me know what's what. So like, comment, subscribe, dislike if you want to, and share. And let me know how I'm doing. Thank you so much. Naptural Yeen out. Bye.